En este episodio de Teachers Off Duty Podcast. On this episode of Teachers Off Duty Podcast, we dive into what students think we do on break versus what we really do on break. We don't cease to exist, all right? We have lives, we have families, and we have a lot of great things we love to do with our free time, too. Check it out.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Teachers Off Duty, the Board Teachers Comedy Tour Takeover. That's right. We are back again with another wonderful month. That was my professional voice. Did y'all like it?
It sounded good.
I was
sounded good.
Voice. I wanted to
Yeah.
hit it out with it.
It's the hat. The hat is very professional. The hat and the jacket is given very professional.
You know what? Y'all right. Why? No need to be professional right now. Why? Because this is holiday time, man. So let's get loose. Let's party up. This is the Teachers Off Duty Podcast. That's right, man. We are back again. Listen.
Just doing the pose.
Frame in my face. I'm back again, getting
I'm
money.
bogan. We back again. It's your man KC Mack. We got some very talented people. Introduce yourself. To my left, bow.
Jay Yoder.
To my right, bow bow.
Honest teacher vibes. Jay, yours is like spicy mayo. I like it.
I like
yours
little Chipotle in
ain't
Jay
there.
Yoder in the house.
that ain't no Hellman's mayonnaise introduction. That was a spicy mayo
Jay Yoder in
introduction.
the house. Nah, man, like I said, man, this is the holiday season. It's pretty cool. It's double break for us. It's double break with the tour. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of the tour again, make sure you guys be a part of it. It's like holiday. Make sure you get a gift. Tell your loved ones that you want this special gift. You want this gift.
You want this?
You want this gift. Hey, like, what you want, baby? You want a diamond ring? No. You want a new car? No. What do you want? Tickets to the Board Teachers Comedy Tour.
Night of laughter. That's what you want.
You sound like a used car salesman.
Friday. Get your tickets.
Outside the car salesman. What's that, the balloon dude?
Teacher comedy tour and tractor pull coming to an arena near you.
It's a cool experience, man. I mean, you got people like us on there. I mean, it's one thing to see us on the podcast and all that, you know, but to actually see us on stage, man, and to actually see and hear what we actually do, man, at live performance. It's nothing like live performance content. Definitely got to see it. And so we're going to be in some states such as Maine, Massachusetts, Texas, Florida, Vermont, New York State, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Listen, if you want to find out what cities.
Hotlanta?
No, I think we're going to Macon, Georgia.
Just wanted to say hot Georgia.
Make sure you guys click in the description, man. We're going to be, make sure you follow Board Teachers. Make sure you follow the podcast. We're going to give you a link to where all the cities we are, ticket prices. We already have sold out shows already. We already have sold out shows. So listen, you guys.
From the bottom, now we're
definitely
here.
Get your tickets real fast because, you know, it's going fast. But, yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool little break.
I like your hat.
Thank you.
I just can't get over it. It's very
you.
Top Golf.
Thank you. Yes. I like the
Bougie.
You
Why'd
know,
you fold your hands like that?
They call me Tiger Hoods. Okay, nobody ever called me that.
Hey, that was funny. KC Mack, you made me cry my mascara off. Hold on.
Thank you so much, Bri. I always love it. You know, that's what it's all about, making the people laugh. Connecting with the educators. We're on break. Teachers, we're on break?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? We are on break now. That's why this episode is kind of special and dear to our hearts, because there's a lot of misconceptions about what we actually do on break.
There's a lot of
between
misconceptions.
the students, they don't know what they're talking about. Parents, they don't know what they're talking about. Non-teachers, non-parents, they don't know what they're talking about. So
we're going to clear up the confusion.
Right. This episode is the things students think teachers do during the break versus what we really do.
And we are not preying on your downfall.
Oh, that's
right. They're plotting and scheming.
One thing your teachers are not doing over the break.
If you think we're somewhere standing over a pot of boiling water, I can't wait to create this potion to get you guys back.
You're all getting
witches and warlocks and
You're a wizard, Harry. I don't know. Sometimes with all the stuff they expect us to do, I do think they think we wizards. But anyway, that's admin though, not the kids.
I thought that of my teachers when I was a kid. I thought that of my teachers.
That they were wizards?
Teachers, the ones I didn't like, I was convinced.
Out to get us?
They were warlocks.
The
only explanation I could come up with.
Because how could someone be so evil?
That's right.
I would do the spells. Shut up thy mouthioso.
I'm a Latin teacher, and that made no sense.
He was adding the old
He's like,
kid.
I want a hot doggo. I have to also teach Spanish, and that doesn't make sense either.
And if you have that Harry Potter scar over there, they'd be like, that's a scar. No, it's a vein that popped out because y'all students.
Because I was stressed.
It's Leviosa.
It's my stress vein. It's my stress vein.
We're not trying to get you, man. We're not trying to get you. I think they think we're like, you know how like you watch those FBI shows and whatnot, and they're trying to
True crime shows?
Yeah, and they're trying to catch like criminal enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So they got this bulletin board, and they got like the head person up top and all his underbosses, and so it's like
they got admin at the top. This is the teacher I hate the most.
We're sitting at home really putting together this case, this RICO case, trying to.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Put together a RICO case. It's some kid that's gonna be at home now with their teacher's pictures on the bulletin board. Like,
right.
Okay, this teacher probably doing this. That actually would be really funny.
With the little red yarn connecting people.
I'm not gonna lie. That actually would be really funny.
That's just a big pyramid scheme.
That's a big pyramid scheme. I feel like some creative
Go
kid
sell some
somewhere.
Cutco knives. All right,
It's just gonna be weird if you have a picture of your teacher at your house, though. So don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Oh man.
No, but I think that's the case. I think that like with teachers have get a bad rap sometimes because we're the ones given discipline. Sometimes we're the only ones in their lives that are adding structure, and I think sometimes that if they're not getting that in other parts of their life, there's a little resistance to that, and I think that might be the case about why we get a bad rap sometimes.
Yeah, I personally think the kids don't think about us at all. I don't think about them.
Like the light switches off, and then we just cease to
Yeah,
operate.
once we leave after
Power
break,
down.
nobody ain't thinking about nobody.
My wife said there was in her school growing up when she was real young, there was like this like attic glass door, and she just assumed all the teachers went up there.
Can you imagine us all filing up there?
Now that's probably all we could afford on our salary, but
Facts.
but I think
bag.
they don't think it's that we're like a simulation, like we don't really exist outside.
Is this life a simulation? People be freaking me out when they say that.
Truman Show.
They're like, what if our whole life is a simulation? I'm like, the way my anxiety
like
brain
the
is set
Matrix.
up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, what if it is a simulation?
Man.
If I punch Casey, will it actually hurt it? Or is it a simulation?
The first teacher I ever saw, my sixth grade teacher was my best friend's grandmother, and he lived with her. So that was the first teacher I ever saw out in the wild. You know what I mean? Like in their natural habitat. It's like, and I'll say I did not. I thought she was mean to me, and I thought she was just extra mean to me because I was like a knucklehead. You know, she knew me outside of class, so I think she was trying to be extra motherly to me because she knew me.
I know what you're capable of.
I took offense to that because I skipped like 40 days of school that year.
40.
40.
So,
40.
Did you pass?
I did. It was
That's what's wrong with the education
It was a Catholic
system.
school. It was a Catholic school. I told her I gave up school for Lent. I was like, what would Jesus do? He'd go out in the wilderness and spend 40 days with his boys. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my gosh. I gave up school for Lent.
but I littered it out. Like I did like long weekends here and there. My mom was like doing double shifts. She was putting herself through nursing school and like managing the local convenience store. So she didn't know.
Because some kids really can't control how much school they miss. Like they ain't got nobody.
Yeah, they just thought something was off with me, you know. But I was, I was a good enough kid.
We was talking about like how, there's not really teachers out there that don't like kids like that. But when I was a student, I actually thought Miss Gossett.
Casey be naming these folks.
I be throwing them out there. I could have swore that she hated my guts. Like I felt like she just had this target on me, and I just did not feel like really good in her classroom. So what's so funny is though, as I got older and actually became an educator, you could kind of see it through a different perspective, through a different lens.
Yeah.
And now that I'm an actual teacher and I'm in her shoes, I realize to this day,
Yeah.
nope, she didn't like me.
She's like,
She actually
It all
couldn't
checks out.
stand
It
me.
checks out.
But I'm not mad at her because I can see why. I was
And
like,
she's
yeah,
like-
no,
he's
I
like,
get it. It's okay
I
not to like
understand
kids
what you're
sometimes.
saying.
No, but it's true. The thing that got me to go back to school in 6th grade, we did a project where you had to pick out of a hat a job in the school, and I got 3rd grade teacher, and that was.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry not to cut you off. I just want to go back and redress something I just said in my last statement.
Please.
It is not okay not to like kids sometimes.
Sometimes.
But it is okay not to dislike their behavior and their choices that they make. But you separate the behavior from the kid. Love the kid, dislike their choices.
Beautifully said.
Had to say that.
We're actually trying to get a bunch of stuff done over the break. Like,
Is grading one of those things?
absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Your grade's already in, baby. Your mama don't need to email me on December 22nd asking for no Christmas gift of you to pass because you didn't do no work all school year long. So,
No.
Merry
No, but
Christmas.
I got an email once the day before break, and it was like, hey, so-and-so's grade's a 91.2, and I would really like it to be a 91.5
Wow.
because then it would round up to a 92, and that's an A.
Wow.
What do you do?
Ma'am.
I was like,
what grade was this?
it was like middle school, 7th.
You gotta chill, bro. You gotta
She
chill.
probably was like, you are ruining their chances for college scholarships.
In
It wasn't even a
Ma'am,
final
she's
grade.
in the
It was like
6th
a,
grade.
Oh, it wasn't the
it was
final
like a
grade?
quarter grade. So I was like, all right, well then work 0.3% harder next semester.
It's always like so tricky with grades because like some of that stuff I'm like, I understand, what you're saying as a parent,
Yeah.
but at that point I'm like, who is rounding? Like,
and
we
it is the
don't
point- at that
legally
point,
have
the-
to round anything.
Yeah,
Like the
points
grade
are
is
the
the
points.
grade.
The way I keep it simple, but the system like kicks out a percentage. We just do like points. I was like, well, clearly go back.
Yeah.
And there was clearly some things you didn't do.
And
you know?
obviously, like, I think it's different too, depending on like the grade. Because like in high school, there are teachers that like, especially if it's a senior and they're trying to get a certain scholarship, they are 100% gonna round it up. In college, I had a professor. Now he ain't gonna round it from no 90 to a 97. That's not rounding. That's cheating. But in college and high school, I think there's a little bit more like leniency toward that. But it's case by case basis. But like middle school, ma'am.
I had no sympathy because in college, and I understood the sentiment because I was that kind of person where I was hyper focused on some of those things I thought mattered, and I got a 3.84. 3.85 was summa cum laude, so I missed it by 0.01, but I didn't go to my philosophy 100 teacher who gave me a B and was like, hey man, I really wished you gave me an A minus so that I could have that.
Right.
I moved on because guess what? It doesn't matter right
Right,
now.
which I tell the kids, I can give you anything you earn.
Exact.
So the grade that
The
your
points are
daughter
there.
has, like she earned that grade.
Right.
Go back.
And I mean, I believe in like grading, like you if you're grading students, like it needs to be fair and it needs to be fair,
Transparent.
and right. You don't need to be like, what is the purpose of giving a child a 20 when they were practicing an assignment? Like
Yeah.
if I'm teaching my kids something now, if you just don't do nothing, baby,
And I do a system now where I number every assignment. So when they come at me, we're talking about a specific number. So it's like, oh, assignment 18, assignment. So I just do 0 through whatever. So like we can like go back and look. You
Yeah.
want to go see the data? We'll go
Right.
look back at
And my
it.
thing is like it doesn't take smarts to try. Like I always tell, because I think sometimes kids have anxiety about trying on assignments because they don't want to get the answer wrong. And I always tell my kids like you don't have to be the smartest person in the room to just try. People that are grading kids like harshly when you just taught them a skill, or like if I just taught central idea and you're doing a practice assignment, I'm obviously using that for like formative assessment or something like that. But I'm not gonna, if you got every question wrong, I'm not gonna go put a F in the computer because this is we're practicing. Now when we get ready to do like the unit test or something like that, that's a different story.
But we're on break.
But
Okay.
practicing.
Well, hold on real quick. Here's a question. Let's propose this not only to you guys, but to the people in the comments. Question of the day. Do you feel like those teachers that take grading to that level of it's a word I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Just those overly harsh graders, right? Do y'all think they're that way because they're unhappy people in their personal lives? What do y'all think?
I don't think so.
You don't think?
I don't.
Come on, man. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I
really don't think people put that much thought into.
No. I think some people just have different. That's what I like about giving a little autonomy with grading, because you're gonna have, how many jobs have you had growing up where your manager was like, your shift manager was really mean or really strict? Like you got to learn how to navigate people, and it's about an interpersonal skill that they're learning. And so especially when they get to high school and they have 6 different teachers, you got to learn how to navigate. You got to know that, you know, Mr. Davis is a little cranky after 4th period, and like Mrs. Davis over here, you know.
But I mean, I get you, but come on, man, there's actually data that proves what I'm talking about.
I mean, I believe
that if teachers was happier in their personal life, the grading system is a little bit more lax. And I get my data from the movie Clueless when Cher hooked up Miss Geis with her, what's the teacher's name? Can't remember his name. But after that,
like
everybody's grades went up. Everybody was happy because she hooked together these 2 single passing ships in the night. Connected
in the night,
and everybody's grades was affected in a positive way.
Can you cite this
Clueless.
data in an APA
I
format, please?
The English teacher in me is like, there needs to be some equity in grading. Like there needs to be because you can't we can't tell a kid your behavior's trash. I give you a 50 on that assignment. Like if you genuinely didn't try, I have what's called a refusal to work form. So if I ask a kid, because we know our kids, that's a misconception that people have. You're bigging on them, shut up, because we know if you're a good teacher, you know your kids. And so if if you got a student that comes in and they having a hard day that day and they just they're not themselves, that's one thing. But you got a kid that's when he come in, he might write his name, he just I'm not doing it. Then you get a refusal to work for him. But there has to be some equity across the board from grading, because it has been. There is data and research that supports that if a kid fails 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, they are less likely to graduate from high school. Oh, I was like, you know what? Because both of y'all are comedians, and I'm like,
Ibid, Your Honor, Ibid.
Bri, whatever.
You loser. What? Wait, how did they do that ever?
Whatever. That's
they didn't change it? They didn't turn it to this?
No, it's Clueless. Sure, come on, guys. I'm telling my age again. Jeez.
Casey, you don't look a day over 25.
Thank you.
Melanated and moisturized.
But no, I'm just thinking. I say it jokingly, but I mean, has there ever? Okay, even if you guys can't relate, there's got to be a teacher out there that
for sure
that realized that they had a bad day or they've been having and they kind of took it out on their kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh,
goodness, yeah.
There are 1,000% teachers that do that.
When I was a younger teacher, I wore my heart on my sleeve, and I think that sometimes, if I felt like a kid was trying to one up on me or something like that, then you might strong hand him a little bit. I think that's part of the process in learning.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm never above apologizing to a kid.
I think it's so important.
I'm never above apologizing to a kid because, again, we want to see, the kids, they are real people. That's somebody's child. And we as adults, we're real people too. We're not, our emotions are not static.
There's nothing more important you can do than fall on the sword, because people are going to immediately give you an opportunity to prove that you can do better and that you can change. And that's a lesson that's probably a stronger lesson than anything on a standardized test, is seeing a teacher apologize, say, listen, I was wrong. I was out of pocket. Let's get back on track. Let's neuralize. Let's Men in Black this moment and just move on.
But I do agree with you, Casey. It's some teachers they be taking stuff out on kids and they are 1,000% not apologize.
And so double back what you were saying. I think that is so important, because it's once you can show a student that you, 1, can make mistakes, and 2, that you can admit to it, take accountability.
Yep.
Because let's just say the kid already knows that you made the mistake, right? But if you refuse to take accountability for it and fess up to it and take responsibility for that, that can really damage y'all's relationship going forward, because now it's you lost all credibility with them.
Yeah.
Why can I ever trust you again? Because I know that right now your integrity, you know what I'm saying? You're not.
Because kids want to know that their teachers are fair people. Because you see the different interactions that kids have with certain teachers, that they are they're super argumentative with that particular teacher all the time, because in their mind, because perception is reality, in their mind, this teacher is not fair. And then they have a teacher who they're all right, even if I'm getting in trouble, I know Miss such, like, she's fair. Like, I genuinely deserve that.
Right.
But the teachers that they know be popping up on them because they having a bad day, absolutely 1,000%
And
not.
that teacher's just waiting. Like, they're not even listening. So even if the student's trying to explain himself, that teacher's already
Not
got the
listening to
needle
it.
on the track ready to release.
Yep. They're not
You know,
listening
and
to
then
them at
when
all.
they realize they're not being listened to, why are they going to listen to you? It's
Absolutely.
reciprocal.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I was a first-year teacher, most awkward thing, we have a mall near me at the King of Prussia Mall. It's like a massive mall. A roommate of mine, we both going to a wedding. So we went to the mall to pick out outfits. So she helped me pick out a suit. She's like, oh, listen, I have the specific dress. I got to get this specific bra. We went to Neiman Marcus, which is a very high-end store. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I'm cool. I'll go to the bra section, whatever. And I'm cracking jokes. And I see this girl just go straight up.
Oh, no.
And she heard my voice. She went straight up. She turned around and saw me. I jumped behind a rack of thongs. And I looked at, and I realized, like, this is not hiding me. And I looked at my friend, and
You're
I'm
peeking
like,
through the thongs, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Like,
Bless her. Talk about an awkward spot to see
I
a
was
student.
so,
And you had no
and I
control
felt
of
awkward.
that. Yeah.
Because I was only like 22 at the time.
Oh,
you know what I mean? This girl was
gosh.
probably 16. And I'm like, I'm going to go.
I
And
gotta
she's
get out
like,
of here.
yeah. And to my friend's credit, she went over to her. And my friend was so cool.
Yeah.
And she struck up a conversation with her and like tried to unawkward it.
Yeah.
And go to school on Monday.
Because you're in there with your friend.
Like
yeah.
it never happened. Neither of us talked about it.
Yeah.
She was a freshman. 3 years later, as a senior, I had her in study hall. All of a sudden, this girl's come up, hey, Miss Yoder, remember when I saw you in the bra section of Neiman Marcus? I'm like, girl, that was 3 years ago.
We do
You
not
were
speak
a
his name.
church mouse about it, and now you're coming out
Right.
like loud and proud.
We don't talk about Bruno. Like, we
Yeah,
ain't
I
going
was
to talk
like-
about it,
I
man.
was like, what happened to the girl that we just pretended it never happened? What happened to that girl?
I don't think I've ever seen. I think I've seen a kid and their parent in the grocery store, and I've seen a kid and their parent in the donut shop. And you know when it's a kid that like they getting in trouble in class, and you like they see you and you see them, and they look at their parent and they look at you, and I'm like, and they're like, hey, Miss Richardson, how you doing? This is my teacher, Miss Richardson. She loves me. I do like so good in her class, and we making eye contact, and she making eye contact, and I'm like, I got you today. I got your back today.
I was eating good in the neighborhood on a date one time at Applebee's.
Not the
and
Applebee's.
And I kid you not, they sat me in a booth and I looked over.
respectable restaurant.
And I looked over there. Hey, I was a teacher budget. I had to get the riblets. So there was a special. I was trying to impress this
riblets.
young lady with, I don't know. But I was
You
in
was
there.
throwing on the sauce because you
I know.
spicy mayo.
They sat me down, and I look over, and I'm like, they just sat me next to a group of girls that I know are just gonna be like they're like mean girling me right now. I could just tell there's a book out there that they're writing in about me.
Oh
Look,
And I just
the mean book.
and I didn't even know the person it was like a first date with them, so I couldn't even
Oh,
enjoy the date.
That's so awkward.
Because I'm side-eyeing the whole time to not awkward. Like, are they looking at me?
I was just got up and left. Like,
So look.
my secondhand embarrassment.
Me and
But then that's even more embarrassing. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like,
you
should
know
I
they
have
was
just...
listening to your conversation the whole time.
That's what I mean.
Awkward.
look. So me and my teacher besties. So we also lived in the neighborhood that we taught in. So it was so crazy. We would try to hide from all the restaurants we know the kids go to.
Absolutely.
Because we're like, hey, we're gonna go out. If we're gonna go
1000%.
somewhere, hey, we're not going there. This is where the kids like to be on this day, this day, this day. So one time during the break, we decided to go skating, right? This was roller skating in the neighborhood. So we all went, and we was like 8 deep, right? We knew the kids were going, it was a
Whole
Saturday
squad.
night, knew the kids was going to be there. So we thought,
Oh, y'all went on purpose?
yeah, because this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to make them have such a bad time, right? Because our presence being there, we just knew they was going to be like, oh, man, let's leave. I can't believe they showed up.
Turn.
The gag's on us. Because when we got there, they were so happy. They were skating over to us.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God, she's here. Oh, my God. All the teachers, right? And then this one student, one of my kids, had the nerve to bring the phone to me and say, here. I was really supposed to leave at 8:30, but I told my mom that my teachers are here, so can I stay now till 9:30? So here, can you tell my mom that you'll watch me? I said, hell no.
I'm lying for you.
Turn him around, push them on his little skates.
Go on your way, man. Go on your way.
Backfired.
Doesn't
Don't
it make-
ever do
Off
it.
duty.
Okay, but does it make you happy though when you see your kids out in public and they're like genuinely excited to see you?
So, yes, I literally, I took this semester off, this year off, and I said this semester as opposed to I'm going back in January. No,
Like,
not
nope.
yet. No, not yet. Not yet. I just pulled up on our kids because, again, I was telling my teacher, Bessie, hey, let's meet. You know what I'm saying? And so we went to the restaurant because it was, spur of the moment, so we had to just pick something closer to school. And I got a chance. It was so beautiful, man. The kids, they was all, for whatever reason, out together. And they saw me and ran up. I was like, oh, my God, Mr. Mack. It's not my real name, but anyways, Mr. Mack. And that was just so good seeing them, man. And then they just, their faces, and I was like, damn, I was like, I really do miss y'all.
Oh.
Because they were just so happy to see all my kids. I was like, oh, my God. Because now they're 8th graders now. I had them when they were 7th graders. And I was just like, man, you guys. So it really just made me like, kind of like, damn, I do miss them.
I miss y'all.
I miss
you ever
us
have a
bad.
time like where you see a kid out in public and it's like you see them and then they like it's like y'all both stop and you don't know what to do and it's like I feel really awkward, scared right now. Like I don't know, and you kind of crab shuffle away, like
Why are you running from the kid? What are you doing?
Oh, you mean like if you were at, I don't know, a mommy and me class? I was at a child rearing class when we were about to have a kid.
Oh gosh.
One of the girls that I had taught, years ago, I've been teaching like 19 years. She's in the class with us at the hospital offers classes before. So learning to change diapers next to a girl I taught 8th grade Spanish to and now is having a kid. Because now I'm getting older and I'm starting to run into these scenarios where I'm like, oh my God, I'm
Jay,
old.
you've been teaching for 19 years?
19 years.
My boy.
I went to the fair last year and I ran into 2 kids I coached in middle school. The boy I coached in baseball, the girl I coached in basketball. Sweetest kids, and it was so nice because now they're married. They have 2 kids, and we ran into each other. My kids are a little older, but it was this cool moment where they were excited to see me. I was excited to see these 2 awesome kids together.
Yeah.
And now they're starting a family. I'm getting excited just thinking about it now because you don't realize the impact you're having on these kids, and they were so happy to see me, even though it was 12 years after I had taught them. That's the cool part that I think we don't see enough is we don't sometimes get to see that. How many teachers maybe don't get to have those moments? But when people, they see you out in public now, all of a sudden you're a human being. I hope that goes a long way to the next time they see you. That's why coaching, and you coach too, is I feel like then all of a sudden they see us differently.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So.
I'm going to try to catch this joke if you're about to say
No, that's not a joke. With you saying that. You stupid.
I was going to prepare myself.
No. See, it's just being human. That's a good point because it goes back to what parents and students, think we do over the break versus what we really do. So it's like a lot of, and you said it before, they don't think about us.
I don't
right?
think, I don't
But
think
going
about
back to your point, but we're human. Why not? Why wouldn't you take into account that? I get it that you don't have to think directly about us because we got a couple weeks break. But hey, guess what? Your kids are going to come back to my classroom in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I need you to kind of think about me, humanize me, and just kind of make sure that you guys are talking to your kids and still, letting them know this is not the end of the school year.
at all.
We still have, another semester. So I need you to think about us enough to know that, hey, kind of keep that instilled into your kids that how important it is for them to still maintain good attendance, behavior, doing their work, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Because
I know you don't think about it, but please think about it.
Or the reverse. They think there's this Wizard of Oz, and they don't realize there's just a man and a woman behind a curtain.
Man.
That's why I was I'm transparent about myself. Because I think teachers, we are not only held to a higher standard, but we're I'm going to go nerdy for a second, but John Dewey was one of the old heads. We talk about education. We talk about John. He talks about us being facilitators and managers. We're not supposed to be these know-it-alls. And the world of ChatGPT and AI and Siri and Google, we're here to help them sort through that nonsense. So they got to trust us. That was the first thing I'll tell the kids when the school year starts. I'm I don't expect you to trust me or learn from me until you know who I am and what I'm about. And like, so that for me, like, I'm happy to talk to them about what I do outside of school because I'm living a life I'm proud of. And
well, I feel like our kids, I feel like when we were kids, like we legit thought our teachers lived at school. This generation of kids, I really, other than like the little bitty kids, our kids know we don't live at school because we have a lot more transparency with our kids than our teachers had with us. I didn't know anything about my teachers outside of school. I genuinely was like, these folks stay at school all the time. Our generation of teachers, and I'm not saying the generation of teachers that we grew up with, there was just a different level. Like we have adapted, our generation has adapted to the times of the kids that we teach. And our teachers, that was the way that they acted with us, the professionalism, the like level of like keeping your personal life personal. Like we're not, because we'll do like a whole PowerPoint slide of at the beginning of the school year of this is, about me. Cause like we do an about me about the kids. I don't remember ever doing an about me in school. My teacher was, I don't remember ever having a teacher that was like, they spent a day. I remember rules and procedures, but I don't remember ever having a day where my teacher, when I was in school, was like, hey, here's a about me sheet or activity or something. Let's all get to know each other.
Well, there was this mantra like "Don't smile till November,"
which I think is
it's like I think that was there was a lot of misinformation about. Well, and there's a guy named Chris Emden who does a really cool TED Talk, and his whole thing is about magic can be taught. Like teachers can be taught magic, meaning they can be taught how to engage, and that perhaps the most engaging people in the world aren't even thinking about becoming teachers. And he talks about how when he teaches teacher education programs, he has the students go to rap concerts. He has them go to Baptist or Black churches. He has them go to the barber shop, and he watches and analyze how those people engage because they're telling amazing stories. People are listening, hanging off, and can we bring those skills and the storytelling into the classroom? And it's so powerful because I think when you humanize it and you find out what they're interested in and you find a way to capture that.
Absolutely. That's why they don't care about the passage that we give them on the benchmark test.
Jay, I love when you talk, man. He's so insightful, voice. Man. I just love it, like, just the things you say, you be dropping gems, man. Like, I got to be honest, man. I just Googled who John Dewey was.
Dude, John Dewey.
I have no idea.
Yeah, 1897 was when he originally wrote that, like, discourse on, well, wrote several things, but, like, his whole mantra was, like, let's break down the walls of the classroom. Let's bring the world inside. And those are still things that we're talking about today.
Yeah. And kids, I mean? Like, have you ever, my boy got that stash, I ain't gonna lie to you.
So silly.
I'm sorry. It was the last name Dewey. He got the same mustache as the guy from.
I don't think it's the Dewey. I don't think it's the Dewey Decimal. I remember the Dewey Decimal System.
That was him.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know. You have to fact check that.
Only Dewey I know is Scrooge McDuck's nephews.
No, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Isn't it the Ducks?
But not. Oh yeah, Dewey. Yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I know Dewey from Scream. The detective from Scream.
How much do you think that dime was worth? He had that dime in that like case. Like, you've never watched DuckTales?
Bank. It was worth bank.
He's a dude. He had this like precious dime that he kept in a case that
it was worth bank.
I would have broke it. No, but like my kids were like at the end of the semester, last semester, my kids were like, "Hey, are you gonna come to our band concert?" And like the kids, when they see you, because we coached, when they see you at stuff like outside of school, like especially if it's not something that's like an athletic event, because like our kids, like they can look in the stands and see us at like basketball, football, whatever. Like they know, teachers, because we have game duty for that type of, for those type of sports, but when they see you at something that like they know that's not necessarily like your area of expertise, it's not something that you normally do, like that's they get big. So it's like, and because some of those kids, they don't have anybody there, like their family's not there, so they look up at their band or choir. The mom in me is like, "Oh, little Misty, don't judge me," but they look up at like their band or choir concert, and there's their teacher that's like one of their favorite teachers, and you said, "Hey, will you come?" And they said, "Yeah," and they actually kept their word and showed up.
That's so. There's a teacher I think of, and she's a young teacher, because that's like, I'm like, when I was a younger teacher, I didn't have my own kids, but I'll give a shout out to her. Her name's Brielle Frasca. She teaches at the middle school I teach at, and she is like that kind of person. She will find out every sport the kids play. She will go to those sports. She will wear spirit gear. She will be cheering them on, and like it's that kind of energy because it's infectious.
Yep, sure
and the only people who get annoyed by people who are that infectious are the ones who are mad at themselves for not taking some time to be a part of the school
like crabs in a
community.
bucket.
Okay, so we're saying that. So that's why, like last year, I was gone for a little period of time. You know, like I said, because of the tour, juggling both careers. You know, it was kind
You
of.
gave up school for Lent too?
Yeah. But
Jay, y'all is these
what I used to
comedians
do,
with these
though,
circle backs.
This is what I used to do. I made sure I supported every after school activity, sports activity. I volunteered for the times I was in. I'm volunteering for the dances, for whatever, because again, I wanted to show that, you know, I do love this community. Like I said, outside, and I'm talking about. I didn't even have students who played 7th grade volleyball, but I was still there, like still supporting, so that they would see that, oh, the staff is still here. You know what I'm saying, and supporting the plays, the musicals, everything, anything that I was in town for. Yeah, I took it because I was like, you know, I'm so absent to a certain degree already.
And they probably miss you too, Casey.
Yeah, definitely.
I already
man.
know you cool as a fan. Hey,
Definitely,
man,
I
they go
missed it,
Mr.
man.
Mack.
Yeah, I mean, I'd chaperone the dances because they had good snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm being real.
Snacks busting in here. And you know you can't eat nothing without the kids being like, dang, Mr. Yoder, is it good?
No, because then I just take it away and then I take it to this faculty lounge and then I honey badger it up.
I'm going to be a honey badger. That's
Hold
my
on, but that's
inner-
what you could do. You could do that all when you're on your break. Do y'all just sit around and just eat when you're on break?
I don't know that I delineate that on break, but yeah. I'm a grazer.
honey badger. Do what I want. That man said, I don't know
break,
that
especially
delineate that
break.
for break.
I mean, you know,
I eat all the
you let
things.
loose, you know, you're like on break.
I eat all the things.
The schedule, that's the, you know, the schedule gets a little different, you know. You got to recharge. I mean, Thanksgiving break, I took my family to Mexico to an all-inclusive resort. I mean,
Turn up.
Talk about.
Well, you actually
Okay.
have time to eat on break.
Okay, let me
Because at
ask you
school,
this.
you ain't got time to
Well,
eat.
that's
It's
right.
like that 5-minute lunch
That's
break.
right. I haven't gone to the bathroom all semester. You kidding me?
Okay.
And hold my peace since August.
Let me ask you this. Do y'all think there is a teacher out there, right? Now, this might sound crazy, but do you think there is actually a teacher out there that
I never know what he's going to say.
when they're on break, they actually like, I wish this break was over so I could get back to school?
Absolutely not. You're a serial killer if you do. You're psycho. You put one sock and one shoe on at a time. You put the milk in the bowl first and then the cereal.
That person has 2 first names.
Because what kind of animal are you? How would you be like, oh, this break is over? No.
I always try to be the voice because that's like, you know, when we telling our perspective, it's like, and we speak for a lion's share of educators. I know we do, but I have to be the voice of that small percentage of the teachers who's actually like, I don't know.
No.
I kind of wish I could be back in school right now.
No.
I miss the kids. I miss my teacher friends. I miss
Call your teacher
Sound
friends.
like Mickey Mouse.
This man got a new laugh and a new voice. New laugh, new voice, who it is. No.
Listen,
please,
if you're in the comments,
please
if you know
don't.
of a
If you
teacher,
comment that, do not comment.
if you
gonna
are
block
that
your
teacher,
comment.
if you are that teacher, if you know of a teacher, let us know. If I don't know. There's got to be at least 2% of teachers.
Like they can't wait for the break to be
so
over.
there's some teachers that really love this.
Okay, well, I will say,
Like, they
I
would
can
put me back in the game,
I
coach.
can understand. I can understand
Damn
if
this break.
they want to be back from break because maybe they're like lonely, like, and that's like
that's
who
like
they have to talk to. So
Well,
I can
people like
understand it for
Routine.
that,
Yeah,
like for
there's
their
some people
routine
who
and
really-
structure.
You know?
No, that's true. My wife's that way because she likes routine. She does as much as, you know, her kids sometimes, you know, can be a pain or
That's
whatever.
who wants break. Can't wait for the break to
But
be over.
like-
Parents.
But yeah, the
Unless
parents.
it's if you're a teacher and a parent, we can't wait for
well,
break.
then we can't because we.
Because somebody come get these kids.
Yeah,
Man,
right.
they're your kids. I don't give a damn.
Come get them right now. They not using their school stomach at my house, and I don't appreciate that. My
Well, they
refrigerator
need
been
it.
empty.
Like They need it. And like even my oldest is autistic. So like for her, the socialization for us is like what we love about school. And like COVID was like rough times because those are developmental times that she's trying to teach her how to socialize. And now they're like, oh, stay away from everybody. And we were teaching her to read facial features. Well, those are out the window. Yeah. So now like for her, I can see that it's important for her after a while to kind of get back into the rhythm of it too. You know what I mean? So so I get the routine of it. I also really like just relaxing and powering down. Like because I'm teaching Latin and Spanish. Like that's like cerebral stuff, and like even I need to like take a minute to like just decompress. You know.
What? Nothing. Carry on. That what did you just say?
I think I messed it up though. It's Adios mio.
No, Dios mío.
Oh, Dios.
You can say ay, Dios mío, but that's like I is like
Adios mío.
Hey, you got a good little Spanish when you it was deep and Morgan Freeman Morgan Freeman was speaking Spanish.
I love those.
KC Mack habla bien el español.
Oh!
En este episodio de esta telenovela.
I don't know what you just said, but it sounded good.
Wait a minute. Do that again. I love the Spanish commercials, like when you watching like Telemundo or something, and you can only understand the product. So do that again, and I'm gonna do the commercial what they do it. So go.
En este episodio de telenovela de KC Mack, vamos a jugar todos los videojuegos.
McDonald's.
Me encanta.
Mi amor. What is? I'm loving it, but I don't know how to say I'm loving it in Spanish.
You definitely need to decompress. That's a lot. That's a lot.
You got to be able to unplug.
Oh, core teachers. Please decompress. Science,
my brain hurts so bad.
English decompress. Math decompress.
Everybody needs a break because we all got to deal with the kids. Whatever subject you teach, we all got to deal with the kids. So everybody need a break.
Do you have a favorite thing you like to do on break?
I would like to sleep, but I gotta schedule all of my doctor's appointments and my daughter's doctor's appointments because that's the only time.
You say that though. You say Netflix. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch all these shows.
I will say,
and then you're sleeping out. You're just knocking out.
My guilty pleasure is like I love binge watching like stuff like Jersey Shore.
You don't really strike me as a Jersey Shore type of guy.
It's like, like when you're like, it's like watching the tabloids. Like there's something about like the appeal of, you know what I mean? At first, like I'll be honest, when I first watched it, I'm like, let me try to figure out why the kids think this is so popular. And I was almost like I convinced myself it was covert research as to like who these kids are seeing as their role models right now and why. And then I just kind of got enamored by it. And it was just nice because you could just turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to think.
It's nice to go on autopilot.
You know what I mean? I just don't have to think. I can just have it on in the background. Impractical Jokers, that's another. I like just binge watch that.
That one is funny.
That one because I can watch with the kids. Like now that my kids are older, like I have to like microdose those TV shows. Because
they don't really say like a lot of crazy stuff on Impractical Jokers. They're pretty clean.
They're clean
on there.
So that's cool.
Okay, so outside of watching and catching up on shows and all that stuff for rest, how many of you guys actually like use that time to like do your physical, check, like get your doctor's appointment scheduled?
That's what I do.
And all that
that's exactly what I do. I
don't know if you can tell, but I don't know much about physical activity.
I cannot with you.
like I'm not, and I'm not just talking about like the machines at the gym. Like I don't even know how to rake leaves. Okay, like,
I'm not about to play with you.
I'm just saying. I grew up in Scranton. I don't even think we had leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't think they existed. So
it's like there was just dirt.
My favorite part of break is not setting an alarm. I always say like when I retire. I'm not going to have any clocks in my house. So, like, I love not setting an alarm. I don't want to know the time.
But do your kids not wake you up?
So, that's the problem. Yeah, now that I'm a dad,
Peyton is like
my daughter is like an alarm. 6:45, she comes charging in. Dad, I want waffles. And I'm like, what do you do? And then my younger daughter is a little bit of, she gets it. She'll come into me 15 minutes later, snuggle up next to me, and she's like, hey, big fella, how's about you make us some waffles?
Are you serious? Oh, sweet.
I'm like, she just bump set spiked me into the kitchen because now I'm making waffles.
You can get whatever
the first one jolted
want.
Me awake. The second one serenaded me. And next thing you know, I'm making waffles.
That's so sweet. They are a little, I do like that we get to spend more time with our kids though on break. Because don't you feel like, because I'm coaching basketball this year. And I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing. So I feel like by the time me and Peyton get home, like after basketball, we're like doing homework, bath, bedtime, like bath, book, bedtime, like, and then up the next day, like doing it it. I just feel like we don't get enough, to spend enough time with
that
them.
was sort of the silver lining with COVID in those years, was like those were instrumental years I spent.
You got to spend a lot of
with
time
my
with
daughters,
them.
watching them grow. They were like 2 and 4 at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, that was an instrumental time. So now I appreciate that time even more. Even silly stuff. Like we were in a pool playing my daughter wanted to do cheerleading moves and I had to like catch her and hold her. And like it was still like, we got lost for like 2 hours doing that.
This is totally random, but as a parent, do you know, like when your kid drops something in the back seat and they're like, I just dropped my toy, and they start having a whole freak out. Hey man, we gonna get in a car accident if I try to turn around and get. Nobody told me that. Nobody prepared me for that as a parent. But your child go cray cray because they dropped something in the back seat.
I missed a turn, and my daughter, like, one of the things with autism is like she's got certain routes.
Yeah.
Like a new bus driver once took a different route. Oh, the parent, we heard about it for weeks about she just could not compute.
Structured.
But like I think that there's some beauty of not having time limits and constraints right now.
Casey,
Like,
why are you looking like that?
We just want to say, whether you are sitting at home listening to this podcast, snuggled up next to your loved one with a cup of hot cocoa, or if you're in front of the television watching your favorite streaming platform show, or if you are with your family spending that much needed time, or if you're catching up on some work, whatever you're doing this holiday break, we just thank you for being a listener of the Teachers Off Duty podcast. And we just want to say happy holidays from our family to yours.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.